Yeah.
I woke up on a DC.
The way you coming found. But this how Rastaman do it anyway, right?
Anyway, long time you not touch head, so
What's good, man? Welcome back.
you know it's good. Had to come back to New York
Yeah.
a little bit, check the fam, see what's going on out here in the States.
So how's it been, man? How's it been? Actually, let's talk about you being in New York first.
Okay.
When you was a young you,
Flatbush
growing up in Flatbush.
Where we at right now, the epicenter.
Yeah, right back where it all started. I used to live right across the street.
Yeah, long time.
Long time. What was it like growing up over here?
I mean, all right, so like I'm born 1980, so I missed the 70s completely. So from like 80 to like 87, 88, shit was sweet out here, you know what I'm saying? There was no gates.
Block parties.
Nobody's block parties. People were chilling. There was even some Caucasians still around living here, you know what I'm saying? Then around, that crack era time, white flight, all them cats move out.
White flight.
You know what I'm saying? But my family had people from the South Bronx and Bed-Stuy, so compared to those areas, Flatbush was still kind of not as violent as those areas until I guess like the early 90s, But growing up in Flatbush, it was just like being in the Caribbean island, That's where I could.
It's like a Caribbean island with all the Caribbean
with
islands.
all the islands, yeah, you know what I mean? Like even the school I went to a private school, shout out to Ebenezer on Kings Highway.
Oh, you went to Ebenezer?
Yeah, so all my teachers growing up were straight Caribbean, the whole situation was like being in the islands growing up, the whole culture. Like I didn't have teachers or classmates who weren't from the Caribbean until I went to high school, until I went to Midwood. You know what I'm saying? So that was like a different type vibe,
I went to Huddy. Huddy had nothing but white teachers.
Yeah, see, I stayed in the private school until high school, so.
I remember you used to walk around with your little private school uniform.
Yeah, for sure. Mom Dukes was not trying to send me to Huddy when I didn't know much how I asked to go because my homeboys was going there. She was
going to Huddy.
Like, you stay in here in that school. When you're younger, you kind of like, you hate it, but now growing up, you appreciate that situation.
So you do. So you feel it made a difference in your life.
Yeah, hell yeah, it made a big difference. Cause like being around in a segregated environment, in a sense, I grew up amongst all black people for the most part, and I got to see the positive effects of that, and even from an educational point of view. Like my 8th grade teacher, shout to Mr. Marshall, he'd be doing the March Squad thing with Major Hype out here, and he's doing the different events.
I think we posted him one time.
Yeah, so that was my 8th grade teacher. His father started the school.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? But I knew him from before he started teaching, you know what I mean? Like, he used to come to the school with the gazelles, and
he was always smooth.
Always smooth, that 80s flavor, with the flat top, you know what I mean? So, but he used to educate us on, like, a lot of black knowledge stuff that a lot of people didn't get until they got out of high school or shit like that. Like we saw Malcolm X when it came out, sitting in the front row of King's Plaza, and we were there like this watching it. You know what I'm saying?
I remember I watched it in Plaza too. I was tight. Everyone walked out mad.
You know what I mean? He was telling us about do the right thing from back in the days. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of like helped mold my mind to be more black conscious and things like that from that age group. So that's why I see it was a positive, And then when I got to high school, Midwood, shout out to Midwood, the Hornets, I almost could even deal with having a teacher of another race. They made me rebel like the first year and a half, 2 years. I didn't want to go to school. But I really didn't understand why. But as I got older, I realized because now I got white people teaching me and they telling me some bullshit.
Okay.
So
the teaching is, when you went there, you was like, yo, this is not, what are y'all talking about?
It didn't click with me.
Columbus did what?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what?
Exactly, Especially like I love history from then until now. So when they started telling me this nonsense, you gotta read all these fucking bullshit literature books about nonsensical stories that make no sense to me and my culture, it didn't connect. I kind of like, you know what, fuck this school shit, I just did just enough to stay eligible to play football. Wow. You know what I'm saying, for my first 2 years, and I realized.
You play football at Midwood?
Yeah, man. Yeah, shout to the Hornets. Yeah.
They didn't let me in Midwood, yo. I was, they told me I was...
too bad?
I was too bad at the time. So I got sent to Tilden.
Yeah, I remember that. Kilden.
Yeah.
Shout to Kilden back in the day.
Shout to Kilden, man.
BMW side.
BMW sides, facts. BMW.
Because Ebenezer was right over there, so so going to school, I had to go through all these little posse gang territories to get back and forth.
Do they mess with y'all, like people in uniform, or they say your uniform guys is good?
Some cats got robbed. I didn't get robbed, but I seen people get robbed. You know what I'm saying? Because cats want to have the JanSport book bag or the game and starter hats. That's most we can really do. We got uniform on, so cats will, some cats got stuck. I didn't see people get robbed on Avenue D walking to that bus stop. But through the grace of God and my mother's prayers and everything else, I never really had to encounter none of that. You know what I mean?
At the same time, it's crazy though, because you went to a school like that, and then you grew up on a block that was pretty much FBK block.
FBK Foundation right here.
So you had like two different worlds that you was experiencing. You had the Ebenezer when you was getting your education. You was learning about, because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get that education as a young man. As, like powerful blacks and stuff like that. Like so I missed that. But that's what made you who you are now.
Exactly. That's why I give thanks for the experience. When you're younger, you probably like, nah, so I want to go to the school with my homies and shit like that. But I give thanks that I got that experience. My mother made those sacrifices to make sure that we got a different education than what the public system was giving us out here. But shout to FBK too.
What was that like growing up on this block?
I mean, that was just excitement, because I was a youth, so they were older than me, so I was like the older guys, the OGs, you know what I'm saying? So, but being that I knew a lot of them just being regular kids, then one day next year they gangsters and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like Marty, Jimmy, I used to hang out with them. They grew up right across the street from me, you know what I'm saying? And then like when, they started doing their thing and seeing their lifestyle, not even just the good side coming through with the nice flashy cars and the girls and the clothes and all that. When niggas started getting locked up, they would come home and tell me the stories of jail. So that kind of made me not go down that route.
That was a deterrent, so you didn't need to go.
I didn't need to go that route, you know what I'm saying? So,
learning from other people's mistakes.
Big time.
Some people don't do that.
Nah, big time, bro. Big time, bro. Shout to Red. I remember, in this election era, a lot of these brothers, after Biden and them pushed through that crime act, that's when I stopped seeing them. But prior to that, you know what I'm saying, it was like a revolving door. Like they'll disappear for the winter time, then I see them during the summer, and then sometime was popping on the block, you know what I mean? Flatbush house parties everywhere, music playing, barbecues, just that vibe. But then also there was a lot of shootouts on the block because of certain situations, you know what I'm saying? Shot the Pop by, I've been seeing him on the platform. Like the night he got shot, I was standing in front of my crib watching the whole thing, you know what I'm saying?
Right by my house.
Right by that shit was a wild.
Because you saw it from a different point of view.
I'm standing on my porch, and there's a few of us about to get ice cream, right? The ice cream truck pulling right in front of the crib. And the dude that used to live upstairs, Butch, so he's a street nigga, so his head is always watching what's going on. And he's like, yo, come inside. I'm like, what's going on? Then we look and see like two dudes behind the ice cream truck like this with the gun. I'm like, oh shit. So we just run in the crib. I run upstairs to the attic to look out the window. I didn't know where they was going there. I remember there was mad people on your porch.
On my porch.
On your porch. And then niggas just went over there and just started letting off.
And meanwhile, they're on my porch.
And you not even there.
But I was there. I was sitting on the porch.
I was there.
Yeah, I was sitting on the porch. Me, Shane, Shauna, and her sister Monique.
Okay, who's the one that had the broken leg? Somebody had on a crutch or something. It was a shorty. She couldn't even run. So I remember she just laid back.
It might have been her. It might have been her.
Yeah, I remember that.
Might have been her. Yeah, she laid back right on the porch.
Laid back on the porch like this. I'm watching this shit from the window like.
That's Lequan cousins, yo.
Yo, shout to Lequan. I heard you recovered from the COVID. Good up for that, my brother.
Yeah. He bodied that shit.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so watching that type of shit, like even the night when Roger got shot right across the street.
Or by Junior Crip.
Right, yes.
And Morty got shot.
And Morty got shot that night. Yeah, so just growing up and seeing the violent side of what street life is really about, and then seeing niggas going to jail and getting football numbers. Shout to Jimmy. Like I haven't seen Jimmy in like.
He home now.
I heard he home. I heard he diesel, but I remember when he got locked. It was like, you ain't gonna see a nigga for 17 years. That shit sounded like forever back then. You know what I'm saying?
Luckily he didn't get deported.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, what's the name? The brother Cracky.
Ghost Cracky.
Cracky, yeah. You know, I remember when Cracky came back from his situation, his arm not working. So, I got to see what the street life was really, really about. Not just like the you get money side. Like, nah, nigga. The street life is nothing to play with. It's always molding my mind like, yo, I gotta go to college, try to get a job.
Yeah, you was always on the right path, bro.
Nah,
and we knew like you was on the right path. So it was never no like. And plus, your sister wasn't hearing it neither.
Nah,
your mom was not playing no games.
Wasn't hearing. Nah, they made sure that we stayed on the straight and narrow. Even though some of my brothers that grew up in my generation, we kind of strayed a bit when they got older.
Yeah.
And then what they made it, return back to civilian life and living good lives now. But for me, I never really went into that world because a lot of things was because when I was 8 years old, my mom took us to California and we visited Alcatraz.
Oh wow, okay.
So we in the prison cell in Alcatraz. If people don't know, they got the jail bars and then they got a cement door. So when they close the cement door, that shit turned pitch black. So I'm 8 years old in the cell thinking this is what prison is, scared out of my mind. And after that, my mom goes, if you get into any trouble, I'm gonna leave you in here. Wow. So I'm like, yeah.
What's that show they got now? Beyond Scared Straight?
Yeah, Scared, yeah, exactly. Early, son.
So hold on, man.
Early.
Your mother did a lot, yo.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to your moms, bro.
All the day.
She molded you. She did the job that mom should do.
Yeah, and definitely, because she grew up in the South Bronx, so she saw violence growing up. You know what I mean? So, and that's why we moved out to Flatbush, because Flatbush was nice, considered like almost suburban back in those days, the early 80s, when, you know what I mean? So, and then, early 90s came in with the crime and all that shit. But even though it was still chiller than a lot of other environments in Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? Compared to like Brownsville, East New York, them sides of town, they still wilding out to this day, you know what I'm saying? So, but it was good though. Shout out to my mom's, definitely laid that foundation to where we are now, you know what I'm saying?
It's interesting you say that, because I was thinking about my parents when they moved to America with the plan to give us a better life. And then we just said, no, we're gonna run around and be some dumb motherfuckers. Like, they had a plan.
I mean,
and we fucked it up.
It's not even y'all fault though, because if I was older at that time, who knows what decisions I would have made.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all grew up, crack era came in, and niggas is making mad bread off this thing. And then just be.
But this wasn't really a drug block.
No, it wasn't. Well, yeah.
Not my age.
Not your age. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
it's a lot of different experiences happen on this block 3/5, man.
Definitely. And growing up with the FBK cats around, we didn't really have to worry about no beef with nobody else. And then like people around us, like, growing up, like, Jimmy, especially Jimmy, was like, yo, you got any problems, let me know, son. Just, you know what I mean? We handle it.
Yeah.
So, but we never really had no problem, especially me. I'm not a person looking for beef. But when it did come up and they just say where you from, cats kind of just like ease off the situation. You know what I mean? Because he knew FBK was the repercussions. You know
That's interesting, because I never really looked at this block like that. But I wonder how people outside of this block looked at this block.
I used to call the shit Vietnam.
But we called it that. I didn't know everybody did.
No, but it had a reputation. It definitely had a reputation in the area.
Yeah, they said my block, my house was considered the base.
The base.
Taki house was considered the computers. Remember they had a meeting? They had a meeting at the church over there on,
I remember
on
that.
Glenwood.
Yeah.
We were standing in the back just listening like, yo, shut up, yo. What's the name? He's always snitch on us across the street.
Miss Florence.
Miss Florence. But we needed Miss Florence, yo.
Nah, niggas was wildin'.
We needed Miss Florence.
So it's all good. Like, I was watching y'all live, y'all did with Red Pill and Blue Pill. Like, I didn't even know them cats was from Flatbush. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know neither.
I didn't know that
I didn't know
all.
neither.
And like, I've been watching them for years on YouTube. I've been around them a couple of times. I really don't know them like that, but been in the same circle because the whole conscious community thing, like early 2000s, like 2001 and 2. My wife now, but she's from Uptown, so I used to go up to Harlem a lot and stop on 125th and hit up Side Nether.
Okay,
Get the D. Back then, he was actually selling VHSs. You know what I'm saying? Before it transitioned to the DVD, before the YouTube and all that. Was getting that shit from them cats up there, getting the knowledge on what's really going on, and you know what I mean. So, shout to them brothers. I didn't even know they was from Flatbush.
Yeah, I didn't know neither. There's a lot that I learned. Just we are Flatbush.
That's why I love this platform. Like, word, seeing the old pics y'all be putting up. Like, yo, I remember them times growing up out here.
You
know what I mean? And like, even now with this whole COVID thing, the vibe is different, because normally times are Saturday, we hear music playing in different yards. You don't hear nothing. It's quiet out here.
No block parties.
No block parties.
No
nothing.
Kids, brothers. Barely any kids running around.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
So how you been dealing with the COVID? Is COVID big in Africa?
Depends what country you're in. The numbers are higher and lower in certain places, but where I'm at in Kenya is not too high. Last time I checked, about 11,000 people tested positive. About 100 and something have died from it.
Wow.
Yeah, but even with that, the numbers.
That numbers
is all funny still.
Well, let's get back a little bit. So. You live in America. You used to live in America.
Yeah.
And then at some point you made the transition to move to Kenya.
5 years ago.
5 years ago you made the transition and moved to Kenya.
Yeah.
Like, that's not normal for all right, you had to see, now you explained a lot from going to Ebenezer.
Yeah.
The culture thing that you was brought up in, the experiences that you got. It made it an easier transition for you, would you say? Or?
I wouldn't say it would be easier, but it was something that wasn't so foreign to me.
Yeah.
What really opened the door was I went to Africa. I went to Senegal when I was 15 years old. You know what
I remember them times you
Yeah.
used to go back and forth to Africa.
I only went once, but people always think
for real?
Yeah,
I felt like it was.
But it was after I got out of college. I used to travel a lot there more.
Yeah.
But the first time I went, I was 15 because a church group out in Queens had a trip there.
Mm-hmm.
And my godmother had told me about it, so I told my mom. She's like, you could go. And my cousin Jay came. They went out there. And from that point, it's just like, I already knew who I was as I know people have an issue with the word African, whatever. But I already knew who I was on the planet from the mother continent. I'll just use that word. And then, but to go there and see reality, like, niggas ain't swinging from trees, everybody not poor, you know what I mean? Like, we stayed in a nice ass hotel with a pool. Went to luxurious places.
They say Senegal has one of the nicest hotels out there. I don't know if they did that at that time, but
Senegal was beautiful from that time. I haven't been back there since, and that was like 95. But Senegal, the whole Africa, like, for us to really sit here and believe that this big ass continent is just full with mud houses and poverty and war, just really shows how warped our brains have been by this system out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to us, we really believe that. So that really helped me put the frame of mind, like, a lot of this shit that we learned in school is based off of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And it's framed for us to stay disconnected from there, because that's actually could be our power base if we understood our connection to that land. You know what I'm saying? How if we manipulated our spiritual and our physical connections properly, that could be our power base. You know what I'm saying?
I think we all need to go back at some point.
Definitely.
Would you say to go back, like, are you connected to Kenya in your line? Is it in your blood? Is it part of your lineage, or did you just pick Kenya as a place to go to?
I would say this: I can't even say I picked Kenya. You know what I mean? Because I traveled, like you mentioned, after college, I graduated. I just started going there. I just started traveling everywhere, not even just Africa, but I just started traveling because I wanted to see the world. Like, I need to understand things from my own point of view. I don't want to just take in what people are telling me. So I would go to different parts of Africa, and people would talk to me in their native language everywhere. You know what I mean? So when people try to say, you look like this tribe or you look like that tribe, I blush out the water. I'd be in Cape Town, niggas that speak to me in Kosa. I'd be in Ghana, niggas speak to me in Ga or Gi or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'd be in Benin, the same thing. And went to, in Kenya, people speak in Swahili all the time. And then I tell them, break it down, like, yo, I'm not really from out here, but they think I'm like Kenyan born in America who just came back. They're like, nah, my people's from the Caribbean. I'm born in America. They're like, huh? You know
it's funny, you was telling me that you
Yeah.
mentioned certain Caribbean places, and they were like, what is that place?
Nah, they really, like, Jamaica is the island that people know of the Caribbean worldwide because of the culture, the
music, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The Rastafari culture especially. You know what I'm saying? That's what people really know. So, like, smaller islands, like, you know, most of my family's from Barbados. I got one grandfather who was born in Jamaica. So I just be like, yeah, Jamaica, whatever. Because I didn't really have half the time to really explain where Barbados is, and it was just another island. Like, you know what I mean? They're just gonna say, yeah, Jamaica. So
that's the same thing they did in America too, though. A person did a crime. It could have been a Haitian, it could have been a Bajan, a Trini. They're gonna say a Jamaican shot a guy.
Jamaican, you know what I mean? So it's all good. You know what I mean? Shout out to Jamaica.
Shout out to Jamaica.
But no other islands don't feel no way.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? But
it's just the truth.
It's just what it is. Like,
even like Vanderveer, like a guy was telling me a story. Yo, the Jamaicans came and destroyed Vanderveer. But I'm like, yo, I heard there was Trinis, Guyanese.
Everybody went there.
Everybody moved to Vanderveer. So, but in their minds, it was Jamaican.
It's all good. You know what I mean?
Shout out to all the countries.
That's what I try to say. Like, and then when you study history, you know that even pre-slavery, Arab slavery, European slavery, we on the continent migrated around to different places. We moved around from ancient Kemet side, went to West Africa, South Africa, Central Africa. We all moved around for many, many millennia. We've been on this planet longer than you can really tell us. So I don't really try to claim
one place,
you know what I'm saying? Because anyway, these countries and boundaries are not what we decided. That's the Berlin Conference gave up these territories, and these British and French and all them chopped up the place and named these places. So I don't really try to really find out, okay, my people from this tribe. If you say you Fulani, you got Fulani from Ethiopia to Senegal, so where you really from? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Right. So we gotta really go deeper in that, and at the end of the day, I don't really big up tribalism either, because that's just separating us more and more, and that's what's really caused our downfall, is the way we divide ourselves first.
So back to, I don't claim.
Yeah. So yeah, I really don't try to claim any country or tribe. You know, I just claim the land. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everywhere I go out there, I'm welcome. So the whole continent is ours.
And you feel like people have they don't like to say they're from Africa.
Yeah, you know, because of certain conscious people don't like to use the word Africa, because they're connected to this general that conquered Carthage at a time. But you know, it's just an easy word to say when you talk about the mother continent, so everybody understand what you're saying. So that's why I still use Africa, even some historians try to debunk that, saying that he took the name of the place he conquered and not that the name of the place took him. But who knows? It's history. But when I use it, you know what I'm talking about, the mother continent. You know what I mean? That's what slavery really was.
Repeated trauma.
Trauma. Watching them kill your babies, kill your mother, rape the man, woman, and child. That will make you not speak your language, make you forget your culture. And then the practice of breeding. You know what I mean? Having the big buck, breeding the women up. So you have people who are born outside of Africa who have no real connection to it, and they have no knowledge of it. So come down to the line, it took brothers and sisters hard to really try to reconnect themselves back to the concept through that knowledge, through that history. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it is.
It's deep, man.
Yeah.
It's deep, and it plays off to what's going on in America right now. So you're in Africa.
Yeah, man.
You're in Kenya. But you know, right now in America is protests. It's not as bad as it was a couple of months ago. But they got the Black Lives Matter thing going on. Have you seen anything since you've been back?
Yes, and when the place where I conduct business out, when I come out here, they got graffiti all over the front of the building, Black Lives Matter, after police, all type. It looked like Gotham City out here for real. Then they got the Black Lives Matter people got the whole camp set up right next to City Hall, permanent tents out there. Yo, that shit different. I'm like, yo, this is really different out here.
It's really different. Everyone got masks on.
Everybody got masks on. When I was in Kenya watching all this happening on the internet and talking to people back here, it's just yo, I didn't even understand the vibe or the energy that's going on. It's different. Shit has shifted. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a movie.
It's definitely like a movie, but for us, who've been in the conscious community studying alternative, I don't like to say conspiracy theories, but alternative information on what's happening is not a surprise to us. These are things that we've been studying and talking about for 20 plus years. Shout to the master teachers from way before who've been putting the work in. So when we see it actually manifesting, it's yo.
Yeah, we knew it was gonna happen, but damn.
Yeah, no, that's why I packed up my bags, bro. That's one of the reasons we packed up the bags. Me and my wife was yo, this shit ain't gonna improve in no way. It's gonna get worse and worse. So we need to make an alternative escape.
So let's talk about that, because for me, example, any average person that I know would say, damn son, New York is crazy. I'm moving to Georgia. You know what I'm saying? New York is crazy. Let me move to down south.
Nah.
You said New York is crazy. I'm gonna move to Kenya.
I said America is crazy.
America. Yeah. See, that's what you got to do then.
Yeah,
you got to.
Because when I was in college, I was part of a National Society of Black Engineers, so I got to travel a lot around America, especially like the South, the Midwest, all those areas. Worked out in Detroit area for a while, so I got to live in these places and see these places. And like, no disrespect to nobody out there, but places not really appeal to me to like a place to live.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, so it's like Brooklyn or Africa. That was really our choices.
That was it.
That was
Brooklyn or Africa.
Brooklyn or Africa.
I need a T-shirt that says that.
It was actually really like Flatbush or Africa.
From Flatbush to Africa, you need the
it.
T-shirt.
You know what I'm saying? Because even other parts of Brooklyn, I ain't even trying to live in either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
From
like,
Flatbush to Africa.
Flatbush to Africa. That was the only really choice that was on the table for us. You know, and plus growing up out here, then my nephew growing up out here, like I know what's expected to be out here. I don't really want to raise my daughters in the same environment that have to deal with what comes with growing up out here. You know? Even though we love it out here still, but you know, there's some bad shit that you don't have to really deal with when you move to a different space and different environment, especially where I'm at. You know what I mean? So
how has it been like living in Kenya? You've been there for 5 years.
5 years.
You have children, your wife.
Yep. My wife, Dominican from Uptown, and she knows she's black, so don't even tell me all that. Because like, you really know what it is with these people nowadays.
But that's because during the whole protest, there was a bunch of Dominicans in
Van Dyke
that
ran some kids off the block.
Which they later on apologized.
Yeah,
and said,
I saw that. They pieced it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I'm gonna be honest. I know a lot of Dominicans, and there are some Dominicans who like this one Dominican dude used to say, "Yo, I'm not black, yo. I'm not black. Darker than me.
Yeah.
I'm not black." I'm like, bro, you look pretty black.
They went through the same trauma that we did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the same brainwashing that we did.